Hey, welcome back here to the Central PA Pour. And as you can see, there's only two of us again. Mr. Kevin is off wandering around, and we'll have to start our little game.
He's in Canada.
He's off. So off to my right, your left as you're viewing is Dave. Myself is Brett. So we're happy to have you aboard again. What's been going on with you?
Same old, same old. Yeah.
I just got back from Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Nice, sunny Florida.
Yeah, I know.
And you were dealing with ice and snow.
Ice and snow. Yes. Yep.
Anyways, hey, we love doing what we're doing. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and on our social media platforms at Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. Even though we haven't done much in TikTok.
No, we haven't.
I don't think we've done much on social media because our social media guy's not doing it anymore.
No, he seems to be busy.
I think we need to fucking fire him.
Yeah, could be. Well, we can.
We can't fire somebody that's not getting paid.
Yeah, he may ask us for back wages or severance pay.
But look, help us out, man. We love doing what we're doing, and check us out on the Hopped Up Network. It's a internet-based site for podcasters doing kind of what we're doing, talking about this great craft beer industry. And we have somebody in studio that was one of our second guest, and guest 2A. So we had guest 2 and guest 2A. Don't ask why. Don't let us know. But we are so happy to have them here again. And we can't wait to kind of have a discussion with them. So welcome back to the Central PA Pour. Brooks and Shannon Hemauer.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
This is awesome.
Glad to be here.
3 years. It's been 3 years, I think, since we talked to you on this.
It's been a lot of beers ago, that's for sure.
A lot of beers ago. Been a long time, and we were happy to get to know you back then. And definitely happy to have you on the program.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on since the last time we had you?
Man, same old, same old. I mean, making beer, selling beer.
That's it. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a business, so.
And now we have your lovely wife.
She is so graciously, granting us with her presence today.
There you go.
It's delightful.
Are you both in the business or
I'm reluctantly.
reluctantly?
Not by choice, right?
I've been trying to get fired for 5 years. It hasn't worked.
Every time she hands in a resignation statement, I just throw it in the trash and say, too bad.
Well, we kind of just what we said. You can't get fired if you're not getting paid, right?
Oh, she gets paid. All right. She's the best paid employee that we have.
So tell us a little bit about what's been going on up at Hemauer Brewing since we had you on, and I believe you're coming up close to 5 years, correct?
Yeah, 5 years in May already, which is hard to believe. Starting out during COVID, which crazy time that was. So we're just kind of plugging away right now. Just trying to get to the next month and into the next month, and trying to keep a couple dollars in our pocket here for maybe future plans someday, and just trying to continue to improve upon our craft and the service which we provide the industry.
I think you and I had talked off since we've gotten to know you. You had visions of possible expanding or moving to a different location. Are those still in play? Or
well, I mean, you always have visions of expansion. You always want to do more. You always want to be better. So I mean, I'm constantly looking for our next place. Nothing has come up yet. There was a point where we were doing some work on a possible location in downtown Mechanicsburg. Just didn't work out. It wasn't a good deal for us, so we had to walk away from the table, which I'm perfectly fine with that. It was gaining some real traction real quickly. But once we finally got down to the hard negotiations, everything was a bad deal for us. We were taking all the risk, putting all the money in, and the owners of the building weren't willing to participate in anything. So we had to walk, and I'm okay with that. It was the right move at the right time.
You have to make the best decision for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your business, so
sure, and they do. The building owners do as well too. I mean, they're running a business, and I get it. I mean, it's nothing personal. It's just business that wasn't good for us to go in that location. kind of glad we didn't. You know, looking back, you know, at that, you know, it's a good decision. And some of those best decisions are saying no to things and not getting yourself overwhelmed with things for the future.
You got a question? I don't
No. I was just agreeing with him.
Okay.
Because that's exactly right. Because the building owners, you know, whenever they set up either their purchase or their lease, most of the time with the lease, they're just looking for dollars coming in, and they will not step over that line to anything that's going to cause them to bring dollars out.
Sure.
And they're going to try to get you to assume as much as you can or as much as they can make you. I'm involved a little bit with a situation with my son. And I was in Pittsburgh, well, a couple of weeks ago. And when I was down there, I talked to him and was working with him. And
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, and then I had a chef I worked with previously. Just, you know, he was in town. You know, he moved away, but he was in town. So I, you know, called him up and say, hey, I need to pull your ear on something here. Can you come take a look? Because you know the kitchen end way better than I do, from all aspects, from, you know, the actual cooking process to running and operating a kitchen. You know, hey, I want to see if we can make something of this space. And you know, he kind of looked at it, did some measurements, and you know, after he got done looking, he and I kind of had a meeting afterwards, and he's just like, dude, don't walk, run away from this project, run. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that you'd be putting in here, and you don't own the building, and you'll have no way to recruit that initial investment. Run away. And
Right.
And you know, the people, you know, that I seek counsel from, I take their word very, very seriously. And I mean, there's a reason why they're in the positions that they are, is because they are very knowledgeable and very talented at what they do, and I'm going to rely on their opinions very heavily.
Yeah, and you have to. Like, I just got back from Florida. I was down there for an automotive conference for my business. And the networking, because we don't know everything. Some people may think they do. But just that leaning on your peers is knowledge in itself. Because, you know, I'll run into something, I can call somebody in California because I know them.
Sure, absolutely.
And they may have an answer. So I know you had talked about previously, like, you know, mentioned the first time in the conversions that we've had conversations, the food portion. I guess that's what you're looking to maybe do. I know you tried it.
Yeah. Oh God, that was such a hot mess. Yeah, with the whole food truck.
By the way, the food was good when I was there that day.
I'm sure I was cooking it.
You were cooking it because I came out to the trailer and we talked while you were cooking.
Oh yeah. Looking back now, I mean, I still think it was the best decision for the business at the time, and I still think it can work. It's just to find the right individual in order to cook is so paramount. And every time that, you know, we hired someone, they came on for a period of time and they left, it was always the food truck. It was always the truck. They want to work in a restaurant. They don't want to work on a food truck. And I can respect and understand it, you know, completely. You know, definitely appreciate where they're coming from. So once again, if the right individual came along that we, you know, could work with and grow, probably would have held on to it, but it was sitting outside. We weren't utilizing it at all. I mean, it's costing me money to insure it. You know, it was almost worth more money burnt up than it was than it is in its current state. And I almost told my buddies, I said, hey, when you I'll just leave the keys and go take it for a joyride and make sure no one finds it. But that did not happen. There's no insurance fraud going on there.
You didn't hear it here.
Yeah. No, so we decided to move on from it. So I ended up selling it to a gentleman out of Gettysburg that I haven't keep tabs, see what he's doing with it. But you know, wish him the best of luck, and she's your problem now.
Hey, I just heard Love Drafts maybe is moving. So there's a location in Mechanicsburg.
No, you don't know the story of that, do you? Obviously not.
I don't know this story.
You know what that's turning into? There's someone going in there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And do you remember their early post when they were throwing the high chairs off the roof, saying how we're never going to have kids in here, never going to have kids, never going to have kids?
Yes.
Guess what it's turning into? A daycare.
Wow.
A daycare.
A daycare is going in there.
Wow.
Are they going to leave the decor the way it is?
Yeah. I guess don't have the babies doing coke in the bathroom.
Maybe they want to get those high chairs back.
Yeah, so I don't know when this is going to air, but or whether this information has come out yet or not, which I'm sure it has. But yeah, because they just bought up a bunch of buildings downtown Harrisburg and Second Street. They bought the old Federal Tap House,
Okay.
which used to be the hardware bar or how many
I
things
remember
were there?
that, man. Hardware bar. That's going back a long time.
Yeah, it was back when I was still young and didn't have gray hair.
You also had long hair.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, so that's what's going on with them that I've heard through the grapevine. Still looking. I mean, we got a new inquiry that we're kind of looking at right now with a possibility. Very, very, very early stages. So just contacted our realtor about the property, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it may be great, it may not be, and who knows what will be in this period of time. But yeah, nothing's coming anytime new from us when it comes to location.
Well, we're going to have to ask Shannon a few questions, but we got a couple beers sitting here. What's our first one here?
I guess I should put down the beer I'm drinking of yours, Brett. All right, so number one is called Higher Calling. So this is,
And no, I am not going to turn the can over so you can read the label on the screen.
There's
because it's
there-
still open.
there's a reason for it being upside down. So it was a low fill on our canning line, so I don't put it out to sale. So those are usually my beers, or I give out to friends, if they want to try something.
You know,
Thank you. We feel
in
obliged.
editing, you can flip that can over.
I guess I can. Yeah, I can.
So this is the beer. There's a brewery down in Asheville, North Carolina, that came up with this idea that we've had many national collaborations for various reasons over the years, and this one goes to help all the breweries that were affected by Hurricane Helene a couple of months ago. So it originally came out a couple of months ago, but I always like to take a little bit of time and do it a little bit later, just to try to keep people, interested and engaged in the situation. And I just made a real small batch on our pilot system just to try it, knock it out, and get it done, because I said I've been doing it, wanted to do it, and we blew through it in about a week, a little bit less than a week. So there are plans for me to do it again, because I still have some labels left over. So I'm going to double batch it and so it should last maybe 2 weeks now.
Well, here's to Higher Calling.
Yeah,
And helping those that were affected by the hurricane.
absolutely. Here's to the community.
Yep. Cheers. So it has a little bit of a dankness.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a citrus. I'm getting a citrus dank note on it.
Yeah, definitely got some big time grapefruit. Get out of this one for it. I'm not the biggest hazy IPA fan. They're a little bit on the sweeter side for me. I'm the traditional brewer that likes lagers and pilsners, and something you can drink about 4 or 5 of them and still be able to survive the next day and not be in the current situation like I am from drinking too much last night for the Super Bowl. But
Well, yeah.
then again, now it's drinking bourbon, so that's a little bit different.
So, Dave, what do you think?
It's tasty.
You hit a spot. with it.
There you go.
It's tasty.
I think it's very
It's
good.
like
I like
you
it.
had said. I'm not a big IPA guy.
Yeah,
and
likewise, yeah.
I'll taste and drink
Sure.
just about anything, and I won't give it the thumbs. I will give almost nothing the thumbs down unless.
Oh, no, wait,
it's
we have.
we have.
Not anybody that we know.
Yeah, we have.
You still want friends, don't you?
But there are some beers that I'll take a few sips of them and just for the flavor, and that's about it. But I could drink this.
Yeah, taste is very relative. I mean,
Everybody's palate's different.
correct, and we all have our likes and dislikes.
So, when you're saying you brewed this, but did you go down there to collab on the recipe, or how did the collaboration work?
So they put out the recipe how they brewed it. So the grain bill as well as the hopping schedule, things of that nature, and they basically said, let's just try to keep the base grain the same or as close as you can to it. And then hop it. They at least wanted we're calling for Citra and Eldorado. I didn't have any Eldorado hops, but I had Mosaic, so I just used.
That's the dankness.
Correct. Yeah, Citra and Mosaic, and I mean those two work hand in hand in hazy IPAs all the time. So I knew it'd go over very well, and it really did. I mean, people just kept drinking it and drinking and drinking, which is great. This is what this beer is made for. I mean, and the proceeds go to the North Carolina Brewers Guild or the Brewers Association,
which helps.
Correct, and then they're going to redirect them back into the breweries that were decimated during the hurricane, because just seeing pictures from there is just it's unbelievable. I mean,
think of the breweries that were lost. And
Yeah.
Everybody lost homes, businesses.
and when probably most of these breweries are just that were affected are just going to have to walk away and claim bankruptcy and move away, because I mean it was floods. Who has flood insurance?
Right.
Probably in that region.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. You could. I guess you can't technically afford it, but you can't afford not to have it either.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things that the world always has other plans, and you gotta
no
just
help
roll
from
with
the
it.
government at all.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Yeah, we won't.
Let's not go there.
So,
Yeah.
Shannon, how did you get into this? Because you used to have a past profession as well.
Right. So, I used to do boudoir photography for 10 years.
Is that the only photography you did, or did you?
That's
do
it.
others? Oh wow.
I did it, fell in love with it, and made my heart sing, and
There you go.
ran with it. So, so initially I was just Brooks's support. He came to me, we were on a honeymoon. We took a late honeymoon, 2016. Was that when we went to Mexico?
Oh, we were what, 6 years married?
Yeah. I don't know. We were in Mexico on vacation.
Obviously, you can tell how long we've been married. We can't remember.
And he brought it up about going into business. And I said, yeah, go for it. You supported me when I went into photography. My only stipulation was I never wanted to work at the tap room.
And guess what? You're there now.
There's the kiss of death.
And then COVID happened. And I'm there all the time. So,
And I said that exact same thing with
the food
the
truck.
food truck as well too.
I never want to work
I'd never
want to
work.
truck.
I'd never want to work in this food truck. And yeah,
You were
see how
stuck.
that happened.
Yeah. So we've stopped saying I never want to.
Yeah.
We learned not to do that.
So do you enjoy this now?
Working at the tap room?
Yeah.
I'll lie and say yes.
Go ahead, just tell them.
So what's funny is I actually love the people. We have some of the best clients, or not clients, but patrons come in. We've had people meet and get married from meeting. We have 2-3 couples that got married just last year alone, because they came, struck up a conversation. We've made lifelong friends. Just in that aspect, I love the brewery.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always people are great.
What I don't love is I'm honestly an introvert, so I like quiet. And the tap room's not quiet, so you have to have small talk, and there's music, and
When
So
my wife and I met, she's an introvert too. She's very shy. She don't want to be in front of people.
yeah,
And the first night we met, I was a disc jockey then.
okay,
And I took her right out on the dance floor. The first night she walked in the building, and I grabbed her hand because I already had a slow song potted. I pulled her on the floor, hit the slow song.
nice.
And later that night, she goes, I don't like to be their center of attention, honey. You met the wrong guy. Because I do not mind.
You sly devil.
I am. But we were up to 5:30 in the morning then talking, and then I had a gig that afternoon as well.
Oh.
So
Oops.
it was a long weekend.
Been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Now, do you help him in the brewery?
Not in the brewery, but I do a lot of the behind the scenes. So I do the website, the newsletter, the schedule. We have one employee right now, so I do the schedule. What else? I work in the tap room, so I help serve.
Whatever is needed, she'll help out.
Yeah.
What do we have? Yeah, it's a partnership.
Well, it's a family business. I mean, we even have our 2 children, our boys who are 14 and 12. They come in, they swap out every Sunday. One of them will come in with me, and they'll clean tables off, they'll wash dishes, put dishes away, and they earn a couple bucks. So it's, it's teaching them to learn, how to work, that, if you want money, you got to work for it. It's not just going to get handed out to you. And especially with our oldest, he wants to work. He's excited to go in because he knows he's going to be making a couple bucks out of it. Now our younger one, how much am I going to make today, Dad? I'm like, buddy, the people who make the most amount of money have no clue what they're going to make. The ones that know, okay, I'm going to make X amount of dollars an hour. Those are the ones that are, to me, leaving money on the table. But people in the sales position, commission based, they're the ones who make the most amount of money because they're willing to take the risk, and risk versus reward. You will be rewarded handsomely for
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, nothing's free.
no,
But you have to, and you're doing it right. You're teaching your children some respect. This is how it's supposed to be.
work ethic.
Will they listen?
Mm-hmm.
I
Just
didn't
know we're trying.
Yeah. Please, world, we try. We tried our best.
Them table manners.
Ugh,
I try.
teenage boys. Ugh, good Lord, do they eat?
Yeah. Wait till you
Dave, you have two teenager boys living with you.
Yeah, I do. There, one is 42, and the other one is 45.
I remember coming home from the service on break, and my parents were we're religious, we're Lutheran,
Mm-hmm.
sitting around the table, and I told Mom, "Hey, could you pass the fucking potatoes?"
No, yeah,
You should have seen that.
Oh yeah, I bet you that was the last time you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not the last time. It was the last time.
time you said it to her.
to her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What branch were you in?
Army,
Army. Okay. I don't know if I knew that. I'm Air Force.
Air Force.
Air Force
Thank
veteran.
you for your service.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Long time ago.
87 to 96.
Were you in the service?
nope.
Yep. There's two of us.
Yeah,
Yep.
You were going to be.
I was close.
You were close.
was
Your
close.
draft card was pulled.
My draft card was pulled back in the days of Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah, but I had a 2S.
Which is
Oh, that's college student,
okay.
and they weren't snatching college students at the time, so I actually had to get down for the physical and everything, do the whole number, and then when they sent us back, they told us, like if we don't call you in 2 weeks, then you'll never. I won't forget that statement he made. He says, "You'll never be called again."
never say
I,
never.
I think they just called my house last week, but I wasn't home, and I think that message was for David Duffin.
They were looking for me. I just that was one of those experiences that to tell you the truth, I almost went into ROTC, and I didn't do that because I wanted to fly.
Okay.
Because my father was a pilot, and I was going to fly, but the problem was I had glasses.
Yes.
And they weren't taking anybody that had glasses. That you had to have 20/20 correctable.
Correct.
So I had to. I was doing the whole 9 yards. The guy was whining and dining me and singing the songs and everything else, and I just put it to him. I says, I want to know if I can get my wings, and he said, yes, you can get your wings. And I said, let me put it to you another way. Will I be able to fly aircraft in the Navy? And he said, no. And I says, well, that's the end of this.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're all hoping someday to get our wings.
yeah, those wings, yes.
So, do you have new recipes that you're working on, or do you stick with the same old?
I mean, I try to. I can't experiment as much as I'd like to. With just trying to keep up with demand. I've kind of made a shift to using our pilot system a lot more. It's a one barrel system compared to our big 7-barrel system, just to try to keep things fresh. Things are a lot slower for everyone. We're not going through product nearly as fast, and that way we especially with IPAs and things like that, we can keep things turning pretty quickly now. So I've really have just been busy with trying to keep up with the demand for all our flagships, with a couple accounts that we have with that as well too. So I really haven't experimented much lately, which is kind of disappointing because I really enjoy doing that. Part of the reason why I wanted to get into this, but just business takes precedent. That
Whatever's going to make the money is where you got to put your focus.
well, and that's everyone keeps asking me at the tap room, what's your favorite beer? What's your favorite beer? Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that.
The one you're drinking right now.
Yeah, the one that sells. And they get a chuckle out of it. I'm like, no, seriously, this is a business. I have to sell beer in order to pay the bills, in order to feed my kids. So whatever you're drinking right now is my favorite one because you chose it. That's all that matters.
Now you mentioned about the COVID and taking this risk as business owner and going into this. And I think I remember the first time we had this, you were planning this and then COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a risk were you guys thinking when that? I mean, were you like, oh shit, or
Oh God, that was terrifying. So we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it more or less the fear of the unknown. I mean, because no one knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
We all were. I mean, no matter what industry you are, everyone's scrambling. It's just a matter of just sheer timing. And I mean, hell, we still talk about it all the time at the tap room. Because it is a major part of the business story. Is that we started the business, and everyone just is so amazed, like, oh my God, why and how? And it's just like it was just bad timing. I mean, the world always has other plans. We signed the lease in 19 in November. We took it over 2020 in January. I mean, sure, COVID was around, this virus from China, and a couple of weeks before going to call the Liquor Control Board for our final inspection, Governor Wolf shuts down everything. Well, now what the fuck are we gonna do? I mean, I got a cooler full of beer. I've been busy trying to get that aspect done, as well as doing all the renovations to the tap room, and we're pretty much ready to go. But the one thing I need, I can't get because the government shut down, and that's our license. So, we were fortunate enough to get that through email, basically overnight, and got
maybe
up.
it was easier than you got it COVID to get the license. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, everything was pre-approved, so all the paperwork was done. Everything was stamped, ready to go. They just had to come out and, okay, yeah, it's what you are. We see the 10 chairs or whatever the minimum is, and yep, here's your license. Good luck with life.
So you built your brewery at your house, right, in the garage?
Yeah, the production, yes.
So was that the start of it before you even had an idea for a tap room, or we have this plan? Let me build the brewery first. I'm just trying to figure out how your idea came about.
Well, we started the business, so I was still in the automotive industry. So I was working on the business plan.
Yeah, I can't talk you coming back either.
Never say never. Never say never. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? But anyways, I digress. So you're working on the business plan, securing equipment, and at that entire time, we were looking for somewhere. We knew we were going to have a tap room. It's just a matter of where. So we were, looking places, and I was doing the renovations to the garage, and we found the space that we were in, and I think it was one of the first ones we actually looked at.
I think it was.
I think it was the first place we ever looked at, and I turned it down because it's just like it's so, because nothing's in there, so it just. I didn't have that vision of what it could be because it's just like, wow, it's so long and narrow. That's what she said.
Usually that's my comment.
Yeah, this kind of stuff that he comes up with.
Anyways,
I like it.
so then looked at another space and went through negotiations, and just there was no negotiations other than us coming up, and so we had to walk away from that and came back. It's like, at least this place, they're willing to negotiate, pricing, and they we're very reasonable to work with, and we're 5 years now coming up in May, and keep going.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think the story's great. We talked to several guests that we've had that they all started around the same year with the COVID year. And I think you had hit on it a little bit about expanding and all that. I mean, this industry took a huge peak in the last 5 years.
Sure. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
now I think it's plateaued, but we're starting to see it die because there's more and more places closing and not enough to overcome it to maintain it.
Yeah, there's
because you alluded to it. We don't have as many customers as we want.
Yeah, I mean, for the statistics that have come out the last 2 years, I mean, there's been a digression. The beer consumption has digressed consecutively the last 2 years. So that tells you, okay, there's just not, many beer drinkers out there. So, you try to go into this, that, or the next thing of what's causing this. Are people moving to something else? But then you start diving into people are just drinking less wine. They're drinking less spirits. So people in general are just drinking less alcohol. Why is that? Is it? I'm not one of them. Yeah, nor I. So why is that? Are people just more health conscious nowadays that, they're really finding out what alcohol does to us in excess? Or, this is one thing that people just really aren't talking about. Maybe they don't understand it, but the more you see of recreational use of marijuana, that people use that as a vice. Don't get me wrong. You don't get hungover from it. You wake up feeling like $1 million.
I wouldn't know. Never had it.
To
They
each-
just put
to
a
each
new
their own.
dispensary close to my shop.
Yeah. And it's a matter of time before, I know Governor Wolf says he wants to raise not Governor Wolf, sorry. Governor Shapiro, my bad. Wanted to raise the state budget by $3 billion, and he wanted to fund it through legalizing marijuana. I'm going to keep my opinion out of the matter, but if it's an avenue that they can use in order to raise funds without going on the backs of the taxpayers, because I think we all pay enough taxes, and Brett, you and I won't even go into the business taxes and stuff like that.
I always tell my accountant, look, I already got the IOU and note rich. She goes, what do you mean? Well, it used to say God save the Queen. Now it's got to say God save the King. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, that's why we fucking revolted in the 1700s. We too many taxes.
Right. Yeah. And somehow things always stay the same.
Governments need to run, and the only way they can do it is raise funds, and taxing is the only way to get it. But they don't need to tax everything we do.
We won't go down this. We'll stop this rat trail.
I was curious. I was thinking about it. You got two of the younger generations and two of the older generations. We've never done it. We've never tried it.
I've never done it.
Really?
Never tried it.
Interesting.
My
Never tried
wife
it.
wants to get me high and take me to a sweet shop because I'll growl over sweets right now.
Oh, Lord,
She
game
just
over.
wants to see me high on dope or whatever and take me to a donut. Take me into Maple Donuts.
Oh, maple donuts.
I've partaked of a time or two, I'll say. For educational purposes, I will
For
say.
educational purposes.
Well,
Okay.
we were just, like I said, I was just in Florida, and her sister took us out to Sideward Brewing,
Mm-hmm.
a cool little place, good beer. And we're sitting outside, and table right there, man. They're just sitting there with a little smoking away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what shit.
Yeah. As long as they do it responsibly, you do you. I'm never going to tell anyone what they should do with their life.
Right.
Just when you start affecting other people's lives with your decisions is when
Yeah.
that can change.
Well, we got another beer in here, and this is, I think, one of your originals. Is this an OG, that Mr. Tank, or is it? It's been around a while.
Yeah, we've had it. It's always our late fall seasonal, so we're coming up to the end of it. I think we're on our last half barrel right now, and then I think we have a couple more cases left of cans. But it's always our most requested seasonal beer. We'll go through it, and 3 months later, people are like, "When's Mr. Tank coming back?" I'm like, "Come on, guys! It's we just literally kicked it a couple months ago. Give it a break. There's other spring beers and summer beers I want to bring out, but people love it. It's a good beer. It's I like to call it one of my stealth beers because for the ABV, which it is, it does not drink it at all. So if you want to go to a tailgate and steal it,
11%.
if you want to steal someone's ticket to a game at a tailgate, dare them that they can't drink 4 Mr. Tanks at one time.
So Shannon, you had said there's a reason behind the name.
Our oldest, his nickname is Tank, Mr. Tank. Yeah. So he's
That's
14.
kinda cool.
He's about 6'1". He's just a solid.
6'1".
6'1",
60.
265,
Yeah.
270 range. Yeah.
Well, where does he get that from?
I got taller people in my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Wow, that's like my youngest. He was always short and heavy, and I thought he was going to take after my first wife. Kind of short, little stockier built. The next thing you know, after he graduated, he's taller than me and skinnier than me.
Yeah, and and ours is 14 only, and like you see him in all the school pictures, he's like a head above everyone else in the school pictures. And he started playing football this past season, which was great. Being a huge football fan myself, I played in high school, So proud papa moments when I can see the next generation playing, and he loves it. I mean, he didn't play a lot. It was his first year playing tackle football, but he learned a lot. You learn how to be a good teammate. I kept telling him, like, you got to show up every day. You got to work hard every day, and that hard work will you'll see results from that. And talk with your coaches. If you don't get something, they want you to come to them. I mean, they're like teachers. A teacher who has a student, hey, can you explain this? I'm not getting it. Absolutely, they're going to be more than happy to do that. They don't want to fail kids.
Yeah. Right. What position did he play?
So he played offensive line and defensive line. So he's tall, so he plays tackle. So once again, he didn't play a lot. He was on the field goal team, so at least he got to play a lot this year because they actually had a pretty good season. They only lost one game by 1 point.
Wow.
And they won all the rest of them. So there was a couple games. I know they played Milton Hershey that he played pretty much the full second half. That they pulled all the first team off and let the second team go out there, and it was interesting just seeing the progression with him playing and just kept getting better, and just in a couple plays. And
the more they play, the better they'll get. It's
right.
Like anything else, the more you do repetitive action,
correct.
The better you will get it.
And it was funny. There was one play where he missed a block and he just slapped his head, his helmet. Yeah. And so at the end of the game, I'm like, what was that all about? You missed that block, didn't you? He's like, yeah, I missed the block.
Speaking of that, I didn't watch a lot of the Super Bowl. I know you said you watched it. I think the Kansas City Chiefs missed a few blocks up front, right?
Oh, my God.
He missed a lot.
Wow.
I was shocked. My wife was actually watching it. And I'm down here setting this up, watching Law and Order old reruns.
Well, your wife has a friend that plays.
He doesn't play. He's the head trainer.
That's
for
in the Kansas City
oh, really?
organization.
Wow.
Rick Burkholder is. He went to school with my wife.
Got a couple rings to his name now.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, here's to Mr. Tank and the offensive line guy.
Defensive line too.
Defensive line. Cheers.
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 I could taste the ABV in that.
You can?
Just because of doing this and,
sure.
And our education has come a long way since our first episodes that we get, because none of us had a fucking clue what we were talking about. But I can tell just by how the feel of it that this is gonna. I wouldn't tell you it's 11%.
Sure,
it's very good. It's a drinkable beer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say it's crushable because
some people try and they fail.
Crush it. You're gonna be 1, 2, 3, hit the floor.
Yeah, you'll be Mr. Tanked real quick.
Yeah, so it's very good.
Yeah, it's one that sells very, very well, and I enjoy making it. Really enjoy the can art. It's the artist who made that just knocked it out of the park. Love the elephant.
What makes the triple? When you see a double India IPA or a hazy, what makes that?
To me, my opinion.
Build?
No, to me it's all the ABV. For me, a single IPA is from 0% up to, I'd say
5,
single. I'd say probably about 6.5. And then anything 6.5 to 9, you're looking at double territory, and anything over 9, you're into triple.
Now, is that the grain build because you need more grain to get the sugar contents, or get the hops coming into play as well?
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be more of everything for it. So it's just going to be more grain, more hops in order to create the beer, and keep turning it out really nice.
It's a good drink.
Yeah, I switched up my hazy IPAs. I was always using liquid yeast, and I just tried using dry yeast for hazy IPAs. Just some people I talked to in the industry, they're like, stay with what works. Keep with the liquid. I'm like, I'll try it, see what happens, and I've actually been very, very happy with it and moved everything. So I use 100% dry yeast now. I don't use any liquid for anything, with some exclusions. I mean, I know our McFadden Irish Red I always use. I don't think I found a dry Irish yeast strain yet. Then again, I haven't really looked very hard for it though as well too. But yeah, it's the repeatability. Price point is far superior as well too. Instead of, I was buying commercial pitches, 5-barrel pitches for like $450, $500. And sure, I use them a couple times, but a brick of 500 gram hazy IPA yeast, though, I think it's $60. somewhere in there. So I mean, and you can use it one time, and it averages out cost for the same.
Cost. You gotta look at the bottom end.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I mean that's the struggle sometimes. The divide between the production staff and then the management is that management, we got to cut costs, got to keep profitable. But then, the production is like, well, no, we need this in order to produce the product. So, I mean, I have that inner fighting between myself and then, most of the time it's a stalemate, but ultimately at the end of the day, what's ever best for the beer. And then the bottom line will take care of itself. Yeah.
Do you miss taking pictures?
I do. The part of why I took a step back though is because it's a lot of creative energy. And working at the tap room, it sucks my soul.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
No, it's a lot being a mom. We got, the boys, just there's a lot on my shoulders. So,
well, and also, it didn't help out with everything we went through with the fire though as well too. I mean,
right.
Taking basically a year off with that because we were so focused on getting back in the house and
rebuilding it,
and just the emotional toll it took on us as well as physical and the stress of dealing with the design and picking out cabinets and flooring and just like all at one time when we didn't sign up for this. It just was basically forced in our lap.
You had mentioned earlier, you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Life deals you cards. It's how you play them that makes you a better person on the other side or whichever way you.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit happens. I mean, it's, I hate to say that phrase, but I mean, that's life. I mean, just when you think you got the world by the, short and curlies, they come wallop you over the head with something like that. And you know what? You got two choices. Either you can bitch and moan about it, or you can just, and dust yourself off and let's keep going. The same thing it was with COVID as well, too. We just had to figure it out along the way. And we did that. And same thing with the house. And now we're in a much nicer house, and that's just as filthy as the other one because of the kids. But I've
mentioned that before because this house was built in the 70s and it's always got issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's one day, honey, I'm going to tell you to get your shit, and I'm fucking lighting her up.
We'll have a little weenie roast.
Yeah. With beer.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
But there's an old adage that God only gives you what you can handle.
Yeah.
However, I just wish you wouldn't fucking trust me so much.
Amen.
That's true.
There was so this conference that I went to had 3 national speakers: Dan Clark, Dr. Jessica Kriegel, and Ross Bernstein. I don't know if you've ever heard of any of them, but Ross Bernstein's a sports writer. He's been around doing it for a long time. But one of the things they said about, is your glass half empty? Is it half full? Or is it refillable? That I've never heard part of that conversation.
Really?
Never heard that third one.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
I thought that was phenomenal to put that in perspective because it was always half empty or half full. How do you look at it? But is it refillable?
Yeah.
So what you have done, you have refilled that glass. And look at it. There was challenges for both of you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But together, you pulled through it.
Yeah. I mean, it's when the fire happened. I mean, everyone's, family comes first. And not that I didn't believe that before, but I mean, when you go through a tragic event like that, I mean, in all reality, I mean, Shannon and I could have not. I mean, we make a different decision not going to bed or going to bed when we didn't. We may not be here today.
Yeah.
We're running out of the house with the smoke alarms with smoke versus getting out when the smoke alarms weren't going out yet and there wasn't any smoke in the interior of the house. So I mean, life you make these decisions and there could be different circumstances from it from doing things differently. But
I had a similar one a year and a half ago. My wife's in Washington visiting her son. I woke up in the middle of the night in a sweat. I couldn't go back to sleep. Called her. She said, "You're having a heart attack." I said, "I'm not."
Oh, God.
Guess what? I had a heart attack. I had 2 blockages.
mm-hmm.
And if I would have went back to sleep, I wouldn't have never called her because that's who I am. I'm stubborn, and I may not be here today.
Yeah,
So it happens for a reason.
absolutely. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is you get so wrapped up in the emotions of the here and now, and the problem is so far in front of your, so close to your face, I should say, that you don't have the perspective to step back and see the big picture because you're just so focused on what's in front of you and getting through today and then trying to get through tomorrow. When you're away from it, and Shannon, I'm sure we agree upon this. The fire has actually been one of the best things that ever happened to us, honestly. That, looking back and how blessed we were through the whole process, whether that be through just the charitable giving from the Red Cross. They helped us out that night and got us up on our feet to the point where we had, like Shannon said, the lifelong friends we met through the tap room. Literally, one of the a couple that we've gotten to know, hung out a little bit, and they saw what happened, the Facebook post, and gave Shannon a call and said, "You are staying at our house.
Yeah.
We're leaving for Disney tonight."
Is that the house when I had called you? Were you staying at? Were you at a hotel at that point?
I don't know when you.
I called you shortly after I heard.
Was it within the first week?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were staying at their house in Enola. Is it Enola? Oh, whatever.
Edders.
That's it. It's something with an E.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and they were leaving for Disney that night, and they're like, "I don't care. You guys are staying here. As long as you don't mind putting up with a German Shepherd," which I'm a little partial to the German Shepherd because he does have a cool name. I'm just
Not
saying.
Mr. Tank.
No,
It's Brooks.
it's Brooks.
Brooks.
But they were so gracious and so kind, generous that look, if you need clothes, go in our closet, wear them. You need food, eat it. You need something to drink, go pour yourself a cocktail. If you need a vehicle to use, drive our truck. And then that worked out so flawlessly. And then we had our neighbor who had an Airbnb. We ended up just renting right across the street from our house.
Yeah.
For the 9 months roughly that
Yeah,
it was.
because I had called you after that, and I think you were saying staying basically across the street.
Yeah.
You can walk over and
Yeah.
check on your
We
progress.
did that every day.
Yeah. When especially on the Mondays and Tuesdays when the tap room was closed, we'd make 5:00. The boys, us four would all go over and just see what they did and walk around the floor plan and see this because I wanted the boys to see the process of how a house gets built and things
And
like
the craft beer community itself.
We're
has
amazing.
stepped
that.
up.
God, I just, it's that first night that we were open because I know I put the post out on Tuesday of. Was it Tuesday?
Because it happened on Monday,
Monday night, yeah. So it was Tuesday night. So my whole family from Wisconsin, so my mom, dad, brother, and sister, they all because I
Within
would
2 hours of us calling, they were in the
yeah
car,
they were in the car
driving it.
and because I needed someone to talk to, so we were on the road. We got out and I'm trying to hold it together for the family. If Shannon needs to lose her shit, let her lose it. But I gotta be the strong one here. So I just need to talk to someone because I can't fathom what's literally watching our house burn right in front of our eyes.
I would like to say I had excellent military bearing at that moment. I was not losing my shit.
But you were allowed
I
to
was
if needed.
very calm.
You were the calm, cool, and collect one.
I was.
But and with walking away from the house, she said there will be good things that will come from us. And is that not closest to the truth? But anyways, getting back to the story. So I tried calling my good friend. It was 9:00 at night, I think it was. And on a Monday, ring, didn't call. So I'm like, all right, I got to call my dad. So call him. What? What do you mean? I'm like, literally, I took a picture while I was on the phone with him and texted to him and. Hold on. Let me talk to your mother. So, but anyways, it was my brother's, well, now they're married, but it was his girlfriend at the time. They weren't engaged yet. Her parents went through a loss, and she said, guys, you need to go. You just need to be there for them. And they were here the next day. I mean, they drove 12 and a half hours straight through the night just to get here. And they got here
Like 4 in the afternoon.
4 in the afternoon or something like that. And it was such a godsend that it's just like, it's all this stupid shit. It's like, fuck, I don't have a phone charger.
Yeah.
I don't like, okay, hey, here's $10. Can you go run, take the car, go run to Walmart and pick up a bunch of phone chargers. Like, hey, can you run
have
this?
a toothbrush.
Yeah, no
Like,
toothbrush.
we literally lost everything but the clothes we were wearing.
Literally
that
on
night.
our back.
And nobody realized that because we take a lot of things for granted until a tragic accident does happen.
Yeah.
Is when you realize the simplest things you can't really do without, or you don't really realize them because you just take it for granted.
Yeah. I mean, medications or, just little stuff like that. But in the big picture things, it's just stuff we lost.
It is. It's stuff.
It's stuff. And, we could lose the house again. And I'm like, you know what? As long as we have the four of us, we'll be fine.
Never seen a hearse following a moving van following a hearse.
Right.
It's just stuff.
That or a Brinks truck.
Yeah.
Can't take it with you.
All I want is a beer tap going behind me so the people can enjoy it.
I told Shannon, I said, if something happens to me at my funeral, I want a couple kegs because I want my buddies to get hammered one last time on me.
I told her, you may have to rent a big place because my small church won't be able to handle it. Or the small church may because nobody will show up because it'll be, thank God he's fucking gone.
Yeah, we don't have to deal with that guy anymore.
I know one person that would be like, thank God he's fucking gone. And no more have to hear about old jokes.
So yeah, getting back to the story once again.
You're harsh.
So that first night, that Wednesday, and I talked, Shannon and I were talking, just the two of us, and do we open? Do we close? What do we do? What do we do? And I mean, I never had a doubt that we needed to be open. And a little bit for myself, that sense of normalcy of keeping my, that good distraction from things. But more so, I believe it's to let everyone know that we're okay, that we're good.
I think you did the right thing.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, there was people lined up at the door when we opened up at 4:00, and I don't think I've given out so many hugs in my life, and just like the overwhelming support for, I mean, it was pretty much for 6 months, it seemed like, and just like I was hustling. I mean, it was such a busy time just dealing with with the aftermath and the insurance company, and then the design of the house and blah 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 blah. But then we're freaking going through beer left and right, plus trying to get the operations back up and running because we were down for 6 weeks.
I gotta say, because then you didn't lose your production house, but you lost electricity to it because of what happened.
Electricity and water supply for it because everything ran from the house, and so I had to deal with business insurance. I mean, I dealt with what, 3 different insurance adjusters because we had the homeowner's insurance. We lost her car. We lost 3 cars in it. So hers was the only car that had full coverage on it. And that was an easy claim. That was just here's a check, no big deal. But I also had to deal with business because I had interruption insurance as well too that I claimed for it because I had all these expenses. So I had to get a electrical company out just to backfeed the meter or backfeed the panel out there so I could just keep whatever I had in process. I mean, I was cold crashing Lucky Lobster that night, and then I lose all this lose electricity and I didn't want to have to lose everything that I have, especially with the coolers and things like that. And I have, ingredients and stuff like that. So, and then getting that, a main line from the electrical pole to the garage and retrofitting the well to now have a pressure tank in the garage as well. So, yeah, it was busy times.
A lot of stuff you don't normally think about, especially if you've never been in business and you got an idea of opening up your own business.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about.
Why do you think I tell everyone don't do it? Don't do it. But no,
Is that what she was yelling at you when you had this idea?
No. It is, for as long as we've been in business, there's someone we talked to, like Shannon wanted to go into business even before photography on another venture. And we were just talking to someone about it, kind of a business coach and things like that. And he looked us straight in the eye. He said, "You realize this is like owning, it's like owning a business is like owning an infant." And we're just like, "What?"
It is.
Like, it is so labor intensive. I mean, we've been up and running for just about five years now. It's still just as labor intensive for it. It's so much so on the.
Easier.
It's so much, on the physical, not so much on the physical side, but it's the mental side that just you're constantly thinking about it. What am I doing wrong? Are we not marketing properly? Why aren't people coming in? This, that, and the next thing. It just you got to be mentally strong in order to ride out the storm.
So before we went on our vacation, being a shop owner with a staff, I have to think about what bills I got to pay. I got to think about next week's payroll.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that's all taken care of because I'm not going to be around, not going to have access to any of this stuff to constantly get on.
Yeah.
I was at the shop Thursday night before we left Friday till 9:45.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 15-hour day. But I had to get all this done because during the day, I'm trying to get this.
Yeah, when you go on vacation, people, and once again, people don't realize owning a business.
Just not clocking out and leaving.
That as well as you work so hard to prep everything so you can be away, and then you got to work 10 times as hard to get everything back up and running as well too. You can't just like flip on the lights, flip off the lights.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and I guess I appreciate talking to you so much because we're talking the same language. It's two totally different industries, but it's so similar on how business operates and runs.
I was never brought. I kind of like you. I learn on the fly.
Yeah.
So we need people that can write tech stuff so that this is how you run a business.
Well, and
hey, let me ask you: do you write SOPs? I could use somebody to write good SOPs.
I haven't for the current job.
That's actually something we need to do. KRAs with our business with our employees. So basically, the expectation is set right from the get go of what does it look like to win at work today, which we never had before. And I joined a mentorship program. Like a group setting of other business owners across the U.S.
Coaching group.
Yeah, coaching group. And there's a coach or oversight of it, and plenty of materials on there of what to do to set up your business to really succeed and what they call level up from one stage of business ownership to the next. Because right now I'm on the first one, which they call a treadmill operator. So literally, you run, and if you don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to the point where I go to the next step where I can take some time away and I can work on the business versus work in the business.
That's a big thing. Got to get out of working in the business to working on the business.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's difficult because we only have so much time. Plus, we all need time away from the business as well too to recharge because you'll just you run and it's just you burn yourself out, and that's a lot of the times people just get tired of it, and it's like, why am I working so hard for so little?
Yeah. Yep. Well, speaking of, we got other beer here.
Yeah. kind of went down on a tangent on that.
That's fine. I mean, that's what we're here to tell.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about this one, and I think you told me when you got here, this was an award winner.
Yeah, this one a little bit of an award at the most recent PA Farm Show.
And Shannon said we need to try this one tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Bozo Nightmare or hefeweizen, and it just an easy drinking, hefty. You get that banana and clove characteristics. It's just under 5%. I think it's like 4.8, 4.6, something like that. And there's it goes over very well. There's one individual that comes in. It's actually the couple that got married, like we talked about earlier. This is his favorite beer, and if it's not here, he gets quite upset with me. So I make sure we have this beer on all the time.
The beer is not named after him. Right?
No. The story of the name, real quick. I never had a name for it, and I was just pouring it one day, and some people may get the reference right away, maybe they don't. But the band Beck has a song called "Loser," and one of the lyrics in it, "Forces of evil with a bozo nightmare." I mean,
okay.
the entire song is like the lyrics are all like beer names. I could just go on for years just on this one song.
Who was it? That was Hell in a Bucket. Uses a lot of Grateful Dead tunes and stuff like that to name their beers.
Yeah. So and literally, I was just pouring it, and I heard that part of the song. I'm like,
there it is.
It's going to be Bozo Nightmare. You're right. And Bart, who did the can art on it, I told him I'm looking at I'm like, I want that pinwheel, or it kind of puts you in like a hypnosis. And then I want the like creepiest clown that you can put on there, not to look like it.
That's what I was going to say. It's not it.
No. No, but I'm like, yeah, I want him like yellow or green teeth, and you look like he's been like chain smoking for like 30 years. And I mean, it definitely gets people's attention.
So it was an award-winning beer at the
Yep.
farm show.
Yep. Yeah. One took third place in
place.
the wheat beer category. Yep.
All right. Well, cheers to Bozo Nightmares.
Cheers.
Hopefully I don't have any.
Right.
So I do get that banana. I'm getting a little clove.
Mhm.
Even this is not one of my favorite stouts.
Nor mine.
I'm not a Hefeweizen person.
No.
Although our neighbor Josh loves Hefeweizens, and he goes, I want you to create a Hefeweizen. I'm like, well, you come up with a recipe, because he had one of these. And I guess he got the banana and clove.
Mhm.
But a lot of that comes out of the hops, right?
No, that's yeast. All
The
like
yeast, that's right, the
the vast majority of
The
the
yeast is
flavors
going with
is the yeast. Yeah, and how you manipulate that yeast, whether it be fermenting at a different temperature, higher temperature, colder temperature, there's so many variables. And I this one was kind of an experiment for it, that I really pushed the temperature on the fermentation. So I mean, it bumped up there pretty hot, and that just trying to do some more research and always trying to improve upon our product to see how it turned out. My palate's not the greatest in the world.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And it's very clear for a Hefeweizen.
Yeah, I think I kind of screwed up something.
Compared to my IPA, my English IPA, that kind of got a little skunked. So
Yeah,
it didn't skunk, but it
That's good. Just cloudy.
I was taking some stuff I learned about hazy IPAs, with the haziness, and trying to apply it to the Hefe. And I think I went a little bit too far on it. I was trying to creep up on it, but I think I overshot it. So I think that's why it's a little bit on the clearer side. But now, I mean, it's not clear like a Pilsner or a lager would be.
It's very good. I like it, even though it's not one of my favorite styles.
Mhm.
I would drink this. I'd drink a glass of it. But it's not a favorite style. And I don't know what it is. It must be the wheat characteristics that I don't like. It might be that banana clove that I don't
It's the
like.
clove. I just don't care for that in a beer, but that's not, I mean, that's the style. That's what it's supposed to be. So.
That's what it is.
Right. And people love it. We sell a heck of a lot of it, and people really enjoy it. So,
And it can be a crushable beer.
yeah, I mean, a little over 4.5%, under 5. Yeah, I mean, this is a great summer beer.
As we've been told, it can either be a lawnmower beer, or as Josh from Seven Sirens called it, a shower beer.
Shower beer. Yeah. That's the first time I ever heard that one.
I'm like,
Really?
What do you
Shower
mean
beer.
by shower
Yeah.
beer? He says, well, I drink them in the shower. I'm like, well,
Absolutely.
shit, I've never heard that.
I mean, I have shower cocktails too.
Yeah.
That's not, and we have in the new house. We have a nice little. We actually have a window in our shower, so I have a nice little shelf I can put the beer. It's up away from it.
Well, I asked him, do you have like a tap in your shower head? He goes, no, not yet.
Nice.
All that humidity, that wouldn't be good, especially with the sugar from the beer.
Yeah.
You got mold written all over that.
No, it's very good. I like that. And so you've won numerous awards with some of your beers.
Yeah. So yeah, we've won multiple awards. I think so. We won 3 this year, and two other occasions. 2 awards on 2 separate occasions. So we're up to what, 7 now, 7 awards, and they're all different beers.
You have your trophy shelf up there,
Yeah.
right?
Well, so yeah, we're kind of making a hallway of awards. So every year we get them a nice frame, put them on. So the ribbons are actually at the frame shop right now. So they've been there about 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to get that phone call here soon to pick it up, and then we're just going to continue on going down the hallway to the bathroom, so people got something to look at while they go there, or while they're waiting, they can read something. Yeah, I mean, my biggest pride is that they're all different beers and they're not just one.
Right.
Now they're all the same competition, but I mean, I have my reservations with competitions, but it is what
We
it
kind
is.
of mentioned everybody's got their own palate.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many variables with the process of judging.
And they take one style, and there's like, I saw like on that BGCP, there's
Mm-hmm.
like different. All right, you got one style, but then you got this wing, you got this wing.
Yeah, and and I've never been to one judging. I don't know the the logistics of when they pour them. Do they sit them out for a period of time, and this, that, or the next thing. So, I mean, sometimes you read the comments by the judges and they contradict themselves. That one was pretty interesting. How one said that this needs to be in the style, which and then the other one's like, yeah, that should not be in the style, which I get. It's like, come on here, guys. I mean, I get it. Everyone makes mistakes, and maybe it was whatever. I mean, but it is good for promoting as well as marketing. But at the end of the day, I don't need ribbons in order to feel justified that I know what I'm doing. I mean, coming to this podcast is all I need.
That's all. That's great. So Shannon, do you take the pictures for the social media?
No, that's actually.
We actually use GK Visual.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so friends over there. I approached Nate. It's something. I'll call it our necessary evil. It was so many times where I was busy, like on a Friday, trying to get prepped, get the tap room ready, and then, oh shit, I forgot to get a post out here of the new beer. So, and we were trying to look at to invest the time in looking at trends and like different what hashtags should we use, and then this, that, and it's like, let's just see if something. So I struck up a conversation with Nate. I can't remember where, and he's just like, well, we offer that. We're starting to try to get in that, see if it's viable for us. So I said, well, yeah, let's start up something. So Tom with them, take some pictures. They also have a photographer on staff as well too, that they'll do some specialist stuff. And so yeah, I mean, it's something's always typically going out every day, and it's usually what's going on in the tap room or trivia on Thursday, beers being released, events, things of that nature. So yeah, they've helped out tremendously and taken a lot of that stress off of me, and in order to focus on better things.
Now, so what are some of the events you still do? Do you still do the yoga thing that you were doing at one time?
Yeah, I still do yoga. You do yoga every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. I call them our golden girls. There's a group of three ladies. They are an absolute hoot. They are the what's a good adjective? Loud, obnoxious, sassy. It's just, but it's just
In a good way.
Oh God, they are so
kind of like Mama. Who was the old lady that was in Golden Girls? It was what's her name's? No, it was her. What's her name's mother was like the smart and sassy one.
Yeah,
Sophia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these girls, these ladies, such a beacon of light. They're so funny. Mary, the oldest one. What is she? 70?
70.
She's 70. She acts like she's 18.
Wow.
She goes after it, loves drinking her beer. She loves Lucky Lobster and Mr.
Just
Tank.
always laughing
And having a good time. And they invited us over. Mary at something for New Year's Day, so they invited us over for New Year's Day for a little get together, and it was nice. Talking to them on kind of like a personal level and hanging out, in something other than brewery wear.
That is awesome.
It's like those ladies we ran into at the
oh my God,
at the
Yorktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. Yes, those poor ladies had dressed up in the
they were
Swedish
dressed
outfits.
They were dressed up as in the Yorktoberfest garb. And
Oh jeez,
they were looking.
yeah.
Yeah, they were above middle age.
Yeah, they were. They weren't 70. I don't know
Yeah.
if they were. They looked pretty good, but
Yeah,
they were funny as hell.
they were funny.
And that's what you're getting at. The people you're meeting.
Yeah. I mean, we really created a space, a hangout spot, some place, where they come and, I mean, that people get to know each other. And I mean, we had a couple come in on Saturday, and first time ever been in, heard about us, been wanting to come in for a while, and just on a whim, yeah, let's go in. And met the regulars at the bar, and they signed up for our mug club that day. And
Wow.
I didn't even have to give them the entire pitch about it. I mean, pretty much all that sales pitch was done by our regulars, and they were the ones trying to sell them, not me. I'm like, good Lord, I got these people train good.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, and I mean that's what everyone says about it. They love us because it's an intimate place, but yet you can have a conversation. It's not loud and overbearing. That you meet the strange, especially people traveling in our area. That we get a lot of military people in and out, and talking with them, and talking life stories, talking sports and things like that, and it's been wonderful what we were being able to accomplish. And we do trivia every Thursday, so we got a company helping out with that, and we have there's one girl in particular that does the hosting, and she become friends as well too. They just had a baby. How old's Nico now? Probably
Almost 4 months.
Almost 4 months already.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, all right. And just building those relationships that they come in all the time. When she just first time came in just to work trivia, and then now she's in our mug club. Her and her husband, they come in at least twice a week, and it's unbelievable when you think about what we've been able to accomplish.
I think it's phenomenal. The story, what you guys have, what we've learned the first time we met you.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
To today, almost 5 years, 3 years since we've met you.
Yeah.
What you guys have been through, what you guys are continuing to accomplish. I just see the future being positive, and with your attitude, both your attitudes, the world is your oyster.
Well, it's we get to decide what our life will be like in the future. We've worked, Shannon and I have worked very, very, very hard to get ourselves in a position where we will be thriving personally, financially, what have you. So, I mean, where things will be in the future, I don't know, but I know we'll be doing well and be successful at it. And, as long as we have each other, we can conquer the world.
That's it. I mean, you've already accomplished most businesses. They say that 3 to 5 year mark is with that failure point.
Yeah. Well, in restaurants, it's even earlier than that.
But yeah, you've already crested that, and you're working to that other side.
Yeah. I mean, and within that 3 to 5 years, I mean, there's various reasons why, and a lot of it mainly is cash flow, that they just run out of money, or,
Right.
or the loans they took on too long. But there's also I would imagine times where the family has to sit down and say, is this a wise financial decision to expand, to take on debt, to take on things in the future that maybe it's not, and that's, you have to kind of almost grieve grieve a loss of something because it's just not a wise move personally, to take on that kind of risk.
Several of the craft industry, with the brewers, they
Yeah.
expanded way too fast and
Probably took on way too much debt, and
not here anymore.
yeah, and I mean it's very easy to do, especially with all the PPP money that was given out. It was just if you get, let's just say, $100,000, well, now we got a nice down payment on that new brewing system, even though we're going to still have to take on $250,000 of debt for it. But that's just I've always run this business on cash basis, pay cash for everything. And I mean, that's what we're going to continue to do because we've been successful with doing it. And mainly it's so much less stressful.
Yeah.
And if you have a bad night, okay, that sucked. Let's go back to work instead of, oh my God, I need to sell this much beer by Friday in order to make payroll.
It's not fun.
No,
it's not fun
and
living
that's-
week to week.
And that's one rule that I made for myself, that I will be able to sleep at night. I don't want those late nights where I'm pulling my hair out like, what the hell are we doing? What's not going on? Things like that. So, and we've positioned ourselves to succeed both personally and business wise as well too.
Any of your sons have an interest of maybe learning to brew?
Fuck no.
None of my sons want anything to do with my business.
You know what? But it's their life. They
can choose.
They have to choose their life and their own path. The one thing that if they come to me and say, Dad, I'm getting kind of interested. Sure. But you have to be called in order to do it. Like, this is my life work here. And I don't want them to go off to college, try something, and that didn't work, but I can always go back and work for Dad. No, that's I'm not the fallback. I'm not the fallback job. If you want to work in this industry, That's fine. I'll get you a job with working at a different brewery so you can be the grunt. You can do all that work. And if you want to run the business, I will gladly teach you, but you are going to prove yourself to all the employees that you are the right person to lead them on the next chapter of this business.
I know exactly where that's coming from. My parents made my brother and I both get a job when we were 16 working for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did it always help me? No. There was times when I was out till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning, and once or twice I might have been late for work, and Dad's knocking on my door.
Yeah.
My pink slips added up. I should have been fired a long time
Sure.
ago. But grew out of that. And recently I've been telling people, I've had customers ask me, "Oh, you're living a dream." I'm like, "Yeah, but it wasn't mine." Because this was not my dream.
Sure. Yeah.
But after this conference, I need to change that perspective because my passion is this dream. The dream that my parents had is now my passion. So
Sure. Yeah.
it is my dream now.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to change that verbiage. So I don't know. I've had a dream. I'm waiting for Dave to pull the trigger and go get that loan so we can open up our brewery.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
I'm
Don't do
not.
it.
Dude, I'm not.
I know.
No way.
I know.
I like my weekends way too much.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
Don't wait too long. It ain't happening.
We joked. It's like, nah. And I'm like, serious.
Yeah.
I've had people, same thing. It's probably what you were a home brewer. People said, "Where can I get this?"
Yeah.
And you had this aspiration.
Yeah.
Even though this one kind of got lit, but it's like, look, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to open a brewery.
Yeah.
I do 5-gallon batches enough for us.
Yeah. And then go ahead.
I gotta tell.
Go ahead.
So he got into home brewing because football's over. He's bored. He needs a hobby, right?
Oh.
So
Yeah.
now-
I'm going into that
So
season.
now his hobby is sourdough bread. I said, if you open a bakery, I'm leaving your ass. Because I know how this happens.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting another.
It's good sourdough though.
It is very good. We had it with dinner tonight.
Yeah.
It was very good.
So now you're a baker. Not only a brewer, you're
He's
a
a
baker.
baker. Yeah.
What's next? A candlestick maker, I guess.
Look on the bright side of it. You can bake and serve your products at the tap room.
that was something I was thinking about possibly doing. So once a month I try to do a what we call a high rollers early release party. So our high rollers is our mug club, what we dubbed our mug club. So we typically open on a Tuesday where we're typically closed, and people can come in and enjoy a beer before anyone else can. So the last one we had was for the higher calling. So they came in, sat down, and I love those nights. They're so easy because
They're intimate.
I mean, it's everyone's there to have a good mood. Everyone knows each other. Like it's, we have roughly 75 to 80 members. And for those events, we'll probably get throughout the course of the night, we'll probably get about 45 people there, come and go as they will, but they all know each other because our retention rate is, I think right around like 85%.
Wow.
Every year. I mean, people come and go, which you're going to have that. But I mean, when we have our annual party, we always do the renewal and give them a little bit of a discount. And everyone's, I mean, it's pretty rare for someone not to sign up. But anyways, with the parties, I will make some sourdough bread to try out on them and thinking like, well, maybe if I could sell, here's a little bit of extra revenue. And I'm just like, you know what? No, I got enough stuff going on right now. Let this be a little bit of hobby and a passion for which I'm getting better. Should have brought some bread tonight.
That's kind of like us, Dave. This is just a hobby.
Yeah.
You got to have those. You got to have those outlets
Yes.
to burn off some steam.
Yeah, we burn off a lot of steam. I mean,
Burning off a lot of steam, but gaining a lot of waste.
yes. Yeah, this was a hobby. And it started out as a hobby. The four of us were just
Drinking
getting
beer?
together and just grabbing some beers and
talking.
drinking and talking.
And my bright idea is, let's turn it into a podcast.
Well,
Look how far you guys have gotten though as well too. And you probably look back at the first couple
Oh, my
episodes and just
God.
cringe and like, what? Oh my God, what were we thinking?
What the hell was that?
But you didn't know.
We
You didn't
had
know
no
what you didn't know.
clue.
Yeah, you didn't know what you didn't know. So you just did it, and
Dude,
progression. It's no different than anything else in life.
We had convinced you to come down. This is when we were going over to Kevin's house, sitting in front of his fireplace there with 2 fold-up tables.
Yeah, and it was so tight in there.
Yeah.
You couldn't move at all.
And then I go to pull it off, and I'm like, oh, fuck. How do I call him and tell him we got to do it
Do it
again? But Brooks, we're going to come to you. You know what? It was a kind of like your story with the fire. It sucked.
Yeah.
But it gave us an opportunity. Hey, you know, we can make this mobile. So then we made the mistake of every episode trying to go to everybody's place to record.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Coordinate your time, our time, in your place. We say, never mind. When I got this ready, we're going to record this day, and this day here. Or we'll bring you in remotely so we can do a remote recording now too.
Sure. Absolutely.
It's like more controlled. We're not taking up too much of your guys' time. And because that was always the biggest struggle, is finding a date and a time that we had about 4.5 hours for us, because we had to set up, record it, tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long day.
Well, travel time as well too, to and from.
I mean, even that day when we came back up to your place to re-record, we had to find a time that when you closed. We had to set it up, go our tests, make sure that we were there about 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dave enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun.
I think Dave just liked looking at the pictures.
I think that's what it was.
I enjoyed looking at the pictures.
It didn't hurt anything.
Just like when the last time I was up there, you know, my wife and I were coming home, like, I want to stop at Hemauer. We're going to go right by. You okay? Yeah. She got to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And I've been telling her about, you know, Brooks's wife is a photographer. Maybe you can reach out to her, because she's always asking about, I need help with this. I need help with that. And she doesn't want to ask Dave. She doesn't want just fucking ask somebody.
Yeah. We struck up a conversation, and
she's very introverted too. So,
but I can talk shop.
Talk shop. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love photography.
Now, do you still have your camera? You still tinker?
Honestly, I haven't picked it up since my last session in May. I just needed to put it down and walk away. Yeah.
I can't do that.
No, but it's always there though. You know, maybe when we get the business to a point where, you know,
Can run on its own.
Yeah, or run with a lot less, you know, with
me.
definitely with her out, which we're currently trying to do to seek, new team members for the team. That way we can remove her permanently from that aspect, which I know will make our lives much, much happier. But you know, maybe at this time when she gets some more time on her hand, that, you know, maybe when the boys get a little bit older and you know, go off to school or whatever they decide to do in life, that it's maybe just the two of us, that she picks it up as a hobby again. And who knows?
That's kind of what I told my wife with this opportunity that she's going to be losing her job.
That's how I got into it.
Pursue your passion.
Yeah.
I'm going to support her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's always bringing up the benefits. I said, I don't care about it. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We will figure it out. If this is what makes you happy, follow your dream.
Yeah.
Don't just stick with a job because of the benefits. You're in it for the wrong reason.
I know. I've been telling her.
Yeah, but it's difficult. I mean, it's what you know. It's very, especially, you know, at certain ages, you know, when you're very young, whatever, fuck it, we'll figure it out, you know. But when, you know, you work so hard to get into a position you have, and then
and you see the retirement age starting to creep
correct,
on.
you're starting to see that glimmer of retirement right down the road, and then wrench gets thrown into your system because of this. It's, you know, it's difficult to do.
Pursue it now.
Yeah.
I will 100% support you.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But at least you can rest easy at night saying, hey, at least I gave it a shot. I gave it an honest try, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And
no, Dave, she still does not want to do weddings.
I've been trying to talk her into doing weddings for 3 years?
At least.
Yeah.
Ugh. Bridezillas. No thanks.
But yeah, that's primarily one of the reasons that she's so against it is because of the attitudes of some of the.
It's a long day. It's a hard day work.
Well, and you only get one shot at it. You miss that first kiss at the altar. Yeah, you're gonna have some pissed off clients, and it's not like you can recreate that.
Well, there was 3 of us who were going to look at doing it.
Ah, okay.
We had 3 of us that go out and do the concerts, and we keep getting the same idea when we go out there and we see each other about the weddings and everything else. And
2 of you have the same idea.
2 of us.
The third does not.
Yeah, she did say she did kind of give us a glimmer, but I think the glimmer went out as soon as
She
we
likes
left.
architecture
Yeah.
and landscape photography.
Yeah.
That's what she loves.
That's what she was telling me. There, you're getting real estate photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a market for sure.
Yeah, real estate. Yeah, there is.
You know what?
I've,
Boudoir with the real estate would sell a lot of houses.
Yeah.
Just so happens the agent's also the model.
There you go.
Yeah, I think they'd sell some houses.
So anything you got planned here in coming up in this year?
We got one more beer.
That's our cheers beer. We're getting right to get to that.
The 26th of April is our 5th anniversary party.
Yes.
So that's coming up.
April 16th is St. Patty's.
St. Patty's Day is right around the corner.
And the McFadden's getting ready to get brewed.
McFadden's getting it. We got the Mickey McFinnigan, the dry Irish stout. That's ready to go. What else do we got going on? I mean, we got trivia every Thursday night. Live music every other night, and we have for our anniversary party. We actually what's his name again?
Jimmy Mowry. He was a contestant on The Voice season 16.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
And he actually performed
a couple weeks
just
ago.
a couple weeks ago and was fantastic.
Oh my god,
Great guy, fantastic
he
performer.
played for 2 hours straight. Like the only break was him basically taking a water, glug glug glug. Okay, let's go right back at it.
Yeah.
And there's not, and he like segued into new songs, like from one to the other, and not like stop one song, start another one. So like, I mean, I was singing the entire time for like 2 hours while I was serving.
It's good music.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was probably some of the most fun I've had at the tap room when it comes to music, because we were busy, but we were not like pull your hair out. Oh my God, I can't keep up busy. But it just time went so fast, and the music he was playing, I mean, he had like doing classic rock, but then he was doing like 90s alternative to 90s country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Even some, modern stuff as well too.
April 26th. Well, we're going to have to see what we got on our calendar. We keep making all these promises, but Christ, everything gets so congested. And next thing you know, here, poof, 2024 was gone.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's long days, short years.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, especially as you keep getting older, that time just keeps clicking by so damn fast.
When you have those parties, because you've had a couple of them, do you put the tents out front or they go out back?
We did them out back. It's just at the end of the day, I mean, for as busy as we were, if any of your listeners have been to those parties before, they really weren't as profitable as what you think. Well, there's that, but it's also the expense of the tent and you have the tables rental, chair rental, and the music the performers and stuff like that. And it's just at the end of the day, you have to sell so much beer just to make up the money to put on the event.
How many 10 by 20s do you need?
Zero.
I have 4. And you may have them to use.
I think what we're gonna do. So what we did last year is we just had it in the front, and then we kind of roped off the first 2 parking spots in front of us. So I brought our refrigerated beer trailer down, so that was parked in the next spot. So we were pouring right from there, and then we had outdoor seating for that, and the door was open so you could hear the music as well too. And so we're planning on doing that again this year. It's a lot more simplistic, and once again, it's a lot more profitable that way for it.
I didn't know you had a refrigerated beer trailer.
Yeah, I've had it for
3-4 years.
No, not that long.
With taps on the side?
Yeah, we have 6 faucets on the side. Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We've probably had it. Yeah, at least 2 years now.
I may have hired him for the 4th of July party.
Let me know. I can just drop it off, and I mean it uses a window air conditioning unit with a cool bot, and I mean it gets down to 36 degrees in there, and in summertime it's not the best. The condensation can freeze, the evaporator can freeze up on it, so you gotta cycle it through. So I gotta look into to see if there's a defrost cycle on there that's not running. But
there may be another opportunity.
What's that?
Do you go out for hire to events?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm open to the idea. I haven't really promoted it at all. If someone has like a wedding or a big event that they need beer for, that I can just drop the trailer off and set everything up that you just have an electrical cord and pour beer until your heart's desire and it runs
Get
out.
some Bozo Nightmares. You can get some Mr. Tank.
Yeah.
Depending on.
Yeah, and for your event, because I use those for all of our offsite events that we go to sell at, because it's just lugging.
So much easier than lugging the jockey box and the cooler with ice. And
It's the kegs, loading them in the car and out of the car, and so all I got to do is just load everything into the trailer, back up my car, hook it up,
That's
and
awesome.
we're there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 4x6 trailer, enclosed trailer, so it's not big by any means,
but it works.
Yeah, it works. You run it with one of those small Predator quiet generators, and you're in good shape. And we got a lot of events coming up this summer that we've signed up for. We're going to be at Allenberry in Boiling Springs the end of the month. I think the 25th. I don't know when this comes out.
It's 22nd.
This is going to come out this weekend.
Okay. So we're going to be at their first annual winter festival in Boiling Springs. So that's something.
In February?
Yeah.
But damn, I have to look into that. Sally would want to go to that.
Yeah,
we like
some.
Allenberry.
Yeah, it's gonna have like an art, a little bit of an arts festival. So there's gonna be some stuff inside, outside. I guess there's a distillery that's signed up already, and they're gonna get some food trucks as well too for it. So yeah, I've never been there, and my thought is like, here's we should be doing okay. We'll sell beer there. I'm not worried about that. How much we'll see, but I'm gonna take some beer along, and I'm gonna track down the bar manager and say, here's some beer, try it.
Put it on tap.
Yes. Yeah, because we're starting to grow our accounts. We actually we have our beer Lucky Lobster and Helles Lager in the HIA in the airport.
In the air.
In the airport.
You're leading into was going to be my last question as far as your distribution. So you've already been answering that. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Anywhere else? Restaurants?
We're in Hidden Still in Hershey. I usually run out there every other week. They go through about a 6 still a week. So, I mean, I think that's pretty darn good for a distillery.
Yeah.
Running through the beer that quick. They said, I actually had the general manager come up to me of the restaurant and say, what do you do to this? I'm like, I don't know, just brew it. He's like, it is so damn good. And everyone loves it here.
They didn't have it when I was there in December. They didn't have any of yours. Otherwise, I'd ordered it. It wasn't what they told me was on tap, so
Yeah, I mean,
may have been out.
could be, possibly. And then we're at TJ Rockwell's in Mechanicsburg as well too. So I mean, I want to start growing that aspect of it. So once I can get some time away with finding new team members that we can really build around, that will free me up to start getting into more distribution, just trying to spread out a little bit as well too. We did a collab with the ski patrol of Liberty Mountain. Is it Liberty? Mm-hmm. Down in Gettysburg area.
Yes, Liberty up on the other side of Hanover. Yep.
Yeah. So they came to me and like, hey, we're thinking about doing this beer. We heard great things about you. Do you want to do that? And I'm like, sure. And so we made a peppermint porter with them. Had labels made up, and actually one of the I can't remember his title. If he may be president or vice president of whatever, somewhere in the board. He actually was taking it to several bars and restaurants down in Gettysburg to try to get it on tap.
That's
there.
awesome.
I'm like, I just got my first salesperson and I didn't even try. But just the timing didn't work out with everything. It just trying to do the first prototype batch with different dosing rates of the peppermint, and to find time for them to come in and taste it to see what it got too drawn out. We should have probably started about 4 months ahead of where we did, but we're all set, ready to go for next year, and we'll see how that takes, and hopefully once again I can start building those relationships down there to keep growing as well too.
Expand.
Yeah, just little bit by little bit. Keep shoveling. You'll find gold eventually.
All right, so tell us one last time where they can find you.
So currently we are at 1010 Wesley Drive in Mechanicsburg. So literally about 200-300 yards off of Route 15. So, you can find us at HemauerBrewingCo.com, Instagram, Facebook.
I think I got it right above us here too. Website's the same thing, right?
Yeah, websites, everything's the same. 717 472-477-3002 is our tap room telephone number.
I got to look because I think I have it scrolling below.
Okay, I think that's what it
I
is.
think it is.
I'm terrible at numbers.
That's right. And you're open what, Tuesday through
Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday from 4 to 9. Friday from 4 to 10. Saturday from 1 to 8 currently. That's going to be our winter hours. We're probably going to change that with when spring rolls around, once it starts getting a little bit lighter out. People are moving around more. And then Sunday from noon to 5. So, plenty of opportunity to stop in, drink some good beer, and meet some new friends.
Yeah, stop in. See Sharon at the tap room. She enjoys doing that.
Yes. That's the word on the street, I guess.
She wants new customers to come in.
Dave, any last comments from you?
No, I'm fine. This has been exciting. I enjoy drinking beer with friends. That's the key.
Likewise.
That's what this is. We're drinking beer with friends.
And having great conversations, which I know I can do a little bit too much at times, Shannon can say. But
Yeah.
Oh, my wife could say that. Yeah, she calls me go ahead, you social butterfly.
Yeah. Well, I call it solving the world's problems.
One beer at a time.
One beer
There
at
you
a
go.
time.
Cheers to that.
So, Shannon, this was great to have you part of this.
Thank you.
Brooks, thank you very much.
No, thank you guys. It's always great talking with you, and glad we could get this knocked out.
So, before we get out of here, we got one more beer here that we're going to cheers out with, and this is another award winner.
This isn't another award winner. Yep. This one won in another third. This is our Garage Series number 5. So this is a
Barrel series. Dude.
yeah. So this is a maple syrup bourbon barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout.
Which I think I
Nice.
still got some in my fridge.
Do you?
Yeah, because I think I bought a couple that night I was up there.
Oh, that's a lot of beers ago, but okay.
So what did it win at the farm show?
So this one third in the wood category or wood aged category for it. So there's some serious competition. There's a lot of breweries that were represented at that competition. So I'm glad we won some awards. We entered a bunch. We entered the max. So, but more so for feedback. And yeah, this one came back with the third, which I'm delighted for. Our Oats and Hose, our oatmeal stout, actually took first in its category for
Gold medal.
in English ale. So everything scored real well. It's just some were a little bit stiffer competition possibly for it, but overall pleased with the how all the beers scored, and always nice to take some hardware home for it.
It's always good when you get positive feedback.
Yeah, and this one, I love Russian Imperial Stouts. I mean, this thing is a beast. I like to use the adjective. It's real burly. I mean, it's in your face. It's big. It's massive. It's loud. It's everything. And then we also have this beer, just the base beer, the Russian Imperial Stout on draft as well too. So I just made the beer, and then I split it in half. So half went into barrels and half just went into kegs. And so you could tell the difference of what barrel aged, so you can taste the difference of the barrel aged. So yeah, they're Heaven Hill bourbon barrels. Then they got shipped up to a organic maple syrup farm in Ohio.
So you're getting both flavors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a little bit of bourbon, you get some sweetness from the maple syrup, because there still was maple syrup in the barrels that was coating in it. So when I put the beer in it, it started re-fermenting pretty violently. I mean, it's just like you just put
That's a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, I mean,
if
it's
it's maple syrup. That's a lot of sugar.
a concentrated sugar, and that's just like rocket fuel.
So that's where the maple comes from.
Correct. Yep. That's where the maple comes from. And I was fortunate enough to secure these barrels because they are very hard to come by. I actually there's a outfit just outside of Philadelphia that I've dealt with purchasing barrels before, and I just reached out to them like, hey, I know you guys don't have any on your website, but if you ever get some in, let me know. And sure shit, about 3 weeks later, he's like, hey, I'm getting a batch in. Do you want them? I'm like, well, I guess I have to say yes because I asked for them.
Do you use it more than once?
No, I'm not going to this time around. You can. The maple's been done. Yeah. So
give it a different profile.
Correct. Yeah. And this was only aged for 6 months. I did this beer a time before, I think about 2 years ago, because this was our Black Friday release. and I left it in 9 months, 10 months, something like that. And it was so far, it was all bourbon. I mean, there was no hint of maple syrup at all. And I promised myself, if I make this again, I will taste test this, and make sure it is right where it needs to be. And what's funny is that, so I did the taste test at 6 months. One barrel was very, very, very maple forward, so very sweet. And then the other one was very, very much like bourbon. So I'm like, perfect. Let's blend them together, and it'll come out the way I hoped. And yeah, I'm really proud of this beer. I really like it. It's a monster. It's 14%. It's
up our alley.
It's a good sipping beer though too, to sit down, watch a movie or watch a sporting event and just sip this and maybe smoke a cigar with it as well too.
Well, we like sipping beers
And smoking cigars.
and
Me too.
smoking cigars.
Yes.
Shannon, Brooks, thank you again for coming on the Central PA Pour.
And I have to apologize because I called her Sharon. After,
You did.
after the words left my mouth, I said, couldn't bring them back.
That happens.
That's your one get out of jail free card. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
So if you're out there, let's raise one with Brooks and Shannon Hemauer from Hemauer Brewing Company in Mechanicsburg, and Dave and myself from the CPP. And let's have some award-winning sipping beer. And let's all be bonded by beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.